venture capital investors and with my friends from Silicon Valley, and everybody reads CB Insights research. And it was published 3 days ago, and I was reading it, and I found very interesting slides that are very relevant to us, and decided to share with you like very quickly. So CB Insights is a global market intelligence platform, and they have made a lot of predictions for 2024. And I would like to share with you 2 predictions that are very relevant to us. And we should know about this because everybody knows about this report. First prediction is AI girlfriends will kill human romance. CB Insights say that the share of people who don't have from the age from 18 to 30 reporting no sex in the last year, it's increasing, and it reaches 28% for men and 18% for women. This is a Tinder activity, a Tinder users activity. CB Insights says that swiping is not working, and these conversions are very low, and amount of messages that are finally messaged is very low. Also, they say that large companies in online dating space also launch AI activities. For example, CEO of Bumble in Q4 23, like in the reporting call, she says that using generative AI to really be the best friend in your pocket inside of Bumble to help you to date, to build convenience, to feel good about, so you can never delete this app. So Bumble is building AI with the app. And Match.com, CEO of Match.com also says that by the end of the year, we expect to have launched a number of initiatives that will use generative AI to eliminate awkwardness and make dating more rewarding. So those are the competitors, the startups that actually these are the competitors of AI girlfriends and chatbots, Digi, Blush, and Anima. This is very quick statistics about how romantic AI accelerates an adult partnership. And we can see here that amount of people married is declining in US. This is a share in US adults that live without a partner. And it's increasing, and the amount of people who are married decreasing. The next prediction of CB Insights is that lonely Gen Z will be friends with AI. This is hours per week, hours per week that Gen Z spends alone. The green line is hours per week that you spend alone, not with friends, blue, not with companions, pink one. And daily average time with friends also declining for Gen Z, age 15-24.
How it might be negative? It was negative. The previous slide was negative. Like with friends, you're spending like -4 hours?
No, this is starting from 0. So this is
compared to
2013 is a base year. Yes, so they're comparing to 2013. Yes, and average time spent with friends also declining, so people are becoming more lonely. And those who need AI chatbots, so there is a startup Character AI that has 4 million users, and this is the statistics of their users. That means that most of their users are within the frame of 18-24. And this is a funding of companies in gaming space and AI character space, and during the last year. So people are raising quite it's a hot space for raising money right now. And the last slide is Character AI, which is a chatbot that where you can create a character. They have 4 million MAU compared to ChatGPT, who has 6 million of MAU. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and I will give a word to Timur, and he will discuss with you latest news in dating space that he posts in the Market Intelligence channel, Market Research channel. Yeah, please.
Please make some noise.
Hi everyone, I'm Timur. Uh, I work as a market analyst for external research group, and today we're gonna have a little quiz instead of the presentation about the dating news of the second half of 2023. You all have your little notebooks in front of you, so you can write your answers on there and then just show me, and we're gonna see the right answers. So the first question is about Snapchat. How many users has Snapchat reached by the end of July 2023? And your options are A, 200 million, B, 300 million, C, 400 million, and D, 500 million. So please write your answers and you can just show them up. Anyone?
Let's make it a little bit faster.
We have a B, B, C, okay, D. All right, the right answer is C, 400 million. And in fact, Snapchat reports that this 400 million on a daily basis create over 5 billion snaps each day, which is pretty good. Second question, Clubhouse. Which new direction does Clubhouse go in the 2024? A, social discovery and messaging, B, dating, C, astrology, and D, AI coaching. I have a D, A, yeah, you guys are right. Social discovery and messaging. So the ways Clubhouse is approaching their audience now is they are creating this new audio messaging chats, and they want to create a vibe of a like family dinner or a party where you talk to your friends, your family, but on a virtual basis. And same thing, you're not gonna have like any random people in your chat rooms who are trying to gain followers on you, like, I don't know, Instagram models or OnlyFans models. So you're gonna be talking with your friends closely in those new audio messaging chats. So a new approach for Clubhouse. Next question, Tinder. So Tinder has come up with a new subscription plan, Tinder Select. And what do you think is the price per month for this subscription? $199 per month, $299 per month, $399 or $499 per month. I have a D, A, D, B, B. Okay, yeah, C. No, the right answer is actually $499 per month. With this Tinder Select plan, you get some new features, which are direct message. Direct message allows you to send 2 messages per week without the mutual like. So you can actually start the connection with the person regardless if you have a mutual like or not, which supposedly can help you getting more and more matches, but it doesn't oblige, of course, the other user to respond. If they don't like you, they can still open your profile. If they don't like you, they will not respond. The next cool feature is skip the line. So the same thing, when you like somebody with the Tinder Select plan active, you're gonna appear on their liked you tab, but usually all the liked you people will be blurred if you don't have the subscription. With the Tinder Select, you will still be shown. So even if the person doesn't have the subscription, they will still be able to see that you like them. They will be able to open your profile. And if they like you, they will like you back. You have a mutual like. If the person does have the subscription, you will still appear on the top. So you will still have the privilege. The special status is just the like fancy thing. You can turn it on or turn it off. It will just represent that you have the Tinder Select plan active. Select mode is another cool feature. You're gonna have the option to turn it on and turn it off. If you turn it on, you will only be talking to people who are like most liked profiles on Tinder. So you will be having the connections with like more attractive, supposedly, profiles. VIP experience is just Tinder states that only 1% of users will have this, and you will have early access to upcoming features. So you will be able to test them before everybody else. In order to have this plan, you not only have to pay $500 per month, but you also have to qualify certain things, like you have to have at least 4 pictures, you have to be photo verified, you have to have your bio filled out, and etc. Next question is about BeReal. What happened with BeReal active users in the end of 2023 comparing to 2022? It increased by 8 million, decreased by 4 million, increased by 5 million, and decreased by 2 million. C, B, B. All right, C. Yeah, actually it increased by 5 million. However, SimilarWeb reported different numbers. SimilarWeb actually tells us that it decreased by 4 million, but BeReal actually sent their report to TechRadar and said that they actually increased their users by 5 million in the end of 2023 and gained 25 million users comparing to 20 in the end of 2022. Next question, tricky question. Who is the current CEO of Bumble? Whitney Wolfe, Lydian Jones, Faiza Taluna, or Renate Nyborg? Anyone? C, A. No, you guys are wrong. It's Lydian Jones. After the 2nd of January 2024, Lydian Jones, who was ex-CEO of Slack, where we actually post this news on a weekly basis, is now the CEO of Bumble, but Whitney Wolfe didn't leave the company. She just takes the chairman role now. Match Group. Elliott Investment Management bought some stake at Match Group. How much does it worth? 1 billion, $1.5 billion, $2 or $2.5 billion? Okay. C, A. Yes, you are right, $1 billion. With this stake, the Elliott Management Group is supposed to put some pressure on the dating app company to improve the performance, which was falling down a little bit. And last but not least, Spark Networks. How much did MGG Investment Group pay for Spark Networks? €1,312,000, 656, 328, or 164,000 euros? B, another B, right? No, actually they only paid 1,064,000 euros for the company, overtaking all their debts as well. Yeah, funny numbers. That was the last question from me. And now I'm going to pass the word to Shamil Bottaev, and he's going to talk about the Q4 of 2023.
Thank you, Timur. Guys, we need more energy.
Hi everyone. My name is Shamil. I'm a head of external research, and basically what I do is I look at what is happening around SDG and hopefully teach you something about the market and what's happening around us. So hopefully my presentation will not be as dry as it could be, and I will try to make it a little bit more entertaining. So let's start with this. This is the performance of SDG in total as seen from the outside. So look at it as trend numbers, because we are not making like 19 million a quarter, we are making closer to 100. So this is more of a trend. The important part is that it matches the actual numbers. So just like from our internal data, we have grown about 20%. It matches what we see from the outside. So the percentage is going to be pretty correct as long for the whole presentation. So what is happening here? We're growing with the market, which is great. I'm just going to mention the number for the market total that we are in. So we are actually in a market which is worth about 6.5 billion, which is the actual market in which we are competing. That's pretty good. It has grown like 20% from the past year to this one. And the reason I actually even mention it is because since we are in the top 4 largest companies, that brings us to like an obtainable segment of the market, which is about 10 to 15%. So our cap this year is closer to like 650 million annually. So which means that we can comfortably grow to that size without having to like reinvent the wheel. So credit market, what is credit market? Credit market is basically our core products, things like ones. It's products which focus on the business model, which is paying per message. We are the undisputed leader here, like nobody is even close. We are the market leaders. More than that, we are actually driving this market wholeheartedly. In a large degree, this is thanks to ones. You can see that everyone who used to be our competitor is actually just laggards right now. We are the best basically here. We know how to do it and we do it better than anybody else. So this market is safe. Yeah, just good job us, I guess. A few words about live streaming and I guess from my perspective, a validation of the business decision to shut down Qubit as a standalone product. So what you can see here is 2 graphs. There is like the blue one shows the market with TikTok and the red one is without TikTok. And you can see here like the downward trend at the end of the year 2023. This is mostly due to TikTok. So what is happening is without TikTok, the market is flat. For me, these 2 are indicators of a current market cap. And well, good job us for not for being ready to let Qubit go and focus on the integration of the streaming. Just a few words about TikTok. It's not like TikTok is doing bad. TikTok is probably having the best year ever, making like around 30 billion annually. What we see here is their direct revenue drop. This is mostly because TikTok is currently becoming more and more of an e-commerce platform in the West. So what they're doing is like telemarketing, showing products and then directly selling them. This means that a substantial part of revenue is going now outside of the stores and we will not see it here. The second part is because of that, in some countries they fall under the legislation prohibiting social media platforms from performing direct payments, from processing them. For example, like in Indonesia, this is the second factor which makes it so a substantial part of direct revenue from TikTok now is going outside the stores. Just a brief outline for chat roulette market. Chat roulettes are what we had in BamBam. So what happened with the market is that in the first half of 2023, most of the market leaders actually started integrating streaming into their products. And despite that, or maybe because of that, the market has remained absolutely flat, actually even decreasing slightly. So for me, in conjunction with the previous slide, these 2 indicate, is an additional indication of the current cap for the live streaming market and an additional validation of the correctness of business decisions made in spite of that. So, AI friends, what we see here is 2 graphs. One is showing the market growth and Replica as the, I guess, still more or less current market leader, and the runner-ups, including the other top players. So what happens here is you can see the market is growing well, more than doubling year over year, but as you can see, in the last quarter there is a slight downturn. This is mostly due to regulators. As Dmitry has told us at the beginning about EVA, as Kirill was talking, what happened is in the last quarter of 2023, a lot of the stores, a lot of the regulators, so including App Store and Google Play Store, they have kind of cracked down on this niche. So they really did do a thorough review of, I'd say, most of the apps. And a lot of them got suspended for a prolonged time. For us, it was not that long of a time, but actually recovering from that is very hard because not only do you have to come back into the store, you have to allocate a lot of resources to fix your foundation, to prevent the further issues, diversify your, hedge your platforms in a sense. So even though it might seem like a small thing, it actually had tremendous impact on the market because it was supposed to be like even higher than it had been in 2023. So hopefully the next year is gonna pick up speed once more. So coming to the largest segment of the market, which is kind of freemium, where the biggest players are. So this is like Match Group, that's Bumble, and pretty much everybody else that you know. If you know an app which has a subscription is here. So what is happening here? First of all, there is a certain on the left graph there are two axes. So it's once again more of a trend graph. Not really. We're not in the 800 million in the freemium market. So we can see once again a small downturn in the first quarter. The reason for this is like mostly a macro reason because the first quarter has a lot of holidays. It is like a seasonal trend. So if you see like on the right graph, it is quite consistent behavior for the first quarter. It's usually the weakest quarter of the year in terms of growth. So what is happening in general here? The market is kind of flat. This is mostly because the biggest player, Match Group, is mostly flat, and Bumble is showing like single-digit growth. I'm just gonna briefly talk about Bumble because Tinder, I guess, no, Match Group is a little bit more interesting, and I want to drive a point here. So Bumble is maintaining its growth, good for them. A little bit slower than last year, but still in the 20%, in the 20s%, growing across most of its portfolio. Only the fruits, like somewhat new product, not really. I wouldn't say that this is like a big, what's the word here, big impactful slide, but this one is. So Match Group grew barely, like it's a single-digit growth, like 4%, compared to 16% last year and compared to like 30% the year before. So this is a very, very downward trend in terms of growth. Out of like 40 brands that Match Group umbrella has, only 5 are actually growing. So there's Tinder, which I can barely call it growth, like 5%. There's Hinge, the star child. Yes, we know that. It's, I guess, the most successful brand that they have. And then there are 3 more, which is BLK, Chispa, and Upward. So BLK is an app focused on Black people meeting. It's kind of a white label of Tinder. It makes about 30 million annually. Chispa is also a white label of Tinder, making about 20 million, focused on Latin dating. And Upward is Christian dating, also a white label of Tinder. You might notice a trend here. So why are they growing, and why isn't Tinder, or what's happening with Match Group in general? So I have an opinion and I have a fact. So my opinion is that it is important in this day and age to have a focused message, like a tribe or a niche in which you are developing your product, which Tinder doesn't really have. But the reality is this. This is the ratio, this is the gender ratio per app, as you can see here. And this is blended between iOS and Android, so it's kind of a little bit skewed because Android users are mostly male. But still, as you can see, the higher the percentage growth was on the previous slide, the better the ratio. So the takeaway here is focus on women. Just make sure that you have them in your app. Now, the other thing that I want to mention here is Tinder and I guess Match Group. Why is it slowing down so hard? What is happening? The truth is that they are rapidly losing paying users. In fact, Match Group has been losing them for the past 2 years at a rate of about 1 to 3% every quarter. And despite that, somehow they are still growing. So what's the secret here? The secret is they are the probably best, in my opinion, in terms of monetizing their audience. So what they did in 2023, like you saw, the kind of funny subscription that Timur mentioned, they made a new subscription for $500. In fact, it's more of a extra offer for very high spenders, for whales. You wouldn't get it normally in your app. The second thing is they actually increased prices twice. So first of all, they increased price about 20%, and then in the second half of the year, they actually changed their subscription structure completely. So let's take a look at the structure of their new subscription flow, which I believe is probably the best practice right now. So what did is they used to have a month, 3 months, and a 6-month subscription. Now they have a week, a month, and 6 months. So this allocation of subscriptions drives users strictly to a very specific subscription, which is 1 month. And the way the price is, as you can see on the last GIF, the price allocation is also very curious. So 1 month costs 18, well, it's in local currency, but basically it's like 18.99 1 month. I mean, 1 week is 18.99. So 1 month is twice that, sitting at like 39.99, and then 6 months is sitting at about that 130 USD. So the percentage is basically you double the price from the weekly subscription for the monthly subscription, and then you get like a 5 times increase for the 6-month subscription. That's like one aspect of it, and the second one is this timed offers, which you get. So when you really want a user to subscribe, what they do is they give you this like 30-minute offer where you have to buy it now or it expires. And this offer is for a specific subscription, so it's not, I cannot pick if I want to buy Tinder Gold, Tinder Plus, or whatever, but it's for a specific subscription and for a specific duration. That's one thing. And the second thing that I want to mention here is that yesterday, Vika Ismailova mentioned that we are developing a very cool, I guess, product, which will focus on regional pricing, right? And I actually talked to her a little bit about it. Match Group has been doing it for a very long time, and they are doing it on a completely next level. So the thing is, they not only have regional pricing like we are planning to have, users within the same room can have their price of the subscription more than like 4 times different. So we can open Tinder and look at the subscription. So me, for example, and Dmitry, and I will have it at $20 and he will have it at 40. Why? So there are a lot of factors. So actually, according to laws, like you cannot discriminate, you cannot make price adjustment based on race, based on age, based on gender. Those are kind of illegal. But if it's a mix of different factors, including location and whatnot, then it is kind of okay. And that is how they make this price adjustment for each user. Basically what you get is individual pricing on a location basis with hyperlocation. So this, I guess, could be a next step for our for the product which would be working on the regional pricing. So what all of this did, despite the loss of users, is grow their LTV like 30% in the year, which was 2023, which is insane. Even though it's for them, it's like going from like $15 to $18, which is not crazy, but still the percentage is insane. Yeah. Now I want to talk, I have a very little amount of time, but I want to talk briefly about a couple of apps. So one is this one called Kiki. There are actually a couple of apps like that. Even though it's more of a fraudulent trend, it has a very unique and, I guess, interesting monetization. So it is close to what we have on our core products, where you have users. So as a user, you have about 10 likes. You can swipe, whatever. But in addition to those 10 likes, you have like 2 flash chats. A flash chat allows you to talk to anybody at any time. The trick is that this flash chat has a very short duration. You have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to talk. After those 10 minutes, the chat gets locked and you have to pay to unlock it to continue chatting. So it's kind of paying like for a certain amount of time, hidden in this cool wrapping. The trick, however, is why is it fraudulent? Is because when you talk to beautiful, like when you get attention from a beautiful female on this app, for example, she will be the first person to continue the chat. So she will pretend to pay for you. And then when the second time comes to pay, it is up to you to do so. So it's kind of like, I guess, a bait and switch type of thing, paying for not a minute, but an unknown amount. And this is very effective. So there are like 2 or 3 apps like this right now, and each of them have been in the store for about 3 to 6 months, and they made from 0 to, the most successful one made close to, it makes right now close to 600-700 a month. 700,000, I guess, a month. The least successful does about 200. I don't know how long they will stay, but it's an interesting approach to like monetization. The second one I want to mention is a new avenue from Replica, which is from Luca, which is the parent company of Replica and Blush. They have just released a new app called Toma, which is more of in line with what Konstantin was presenting. So it's kind of a mindfulness personal coach, but an AI kind of thing. So they basically took Replica, their language model, most of its some part of its interface, and turned it into a separate product. So I guess that's the way they are hedging their protection from regulators. Look, for us it was web. For them they have web and 3 different apps. Like one is more about sexting, which is Blush. They still have Replica, and now they have this Toma. So this is kind of forward-looking, I guess, maybe somewhat imaginary, maybe, I guess, wishful thinking. So everybody talks about AI, maybe I should too, a little bit. So what is the history with the AI? We moved from like text to images to voice. Now we have up and coming, even though kind of raw, but we have video up and coming here. And the speed at which this has been happening, so it took us about 2 years from GPT-3, right? It took us less than a year. It took us like 8 months to go from DALL-E to to crappy DALL-E images to photorealistic. And now we have just been released, I guess, in December, the beta or alpha for Magic Animate, which is like ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company, the development. The feature that will allow you to create video content and animate content just from a single picture. It is very raw right now, but considering the speed at which this development is going, it's probably a year, maybe less, until we see like a really strong consumer product. Why I mention this is because this means a strong social media giant is putting its foot in this door, and I think we should kind of pay attention, because video is coming faster, like video and animation in terms of content is coming much faster than we expect. And the second one is, it's kind of a consideration, food of thought. So we all have heard, like, I guess because it's very important for us, that both Apple and Google have had their own go at the DMA Act in European Union. And both have kind of been forced to allow sideloading, which is basically allowing other developers to put third-party apps, payment processors, and third-party stores into their system. Now, why this is important is because even though it's still unclear how exactly it's going to be done, because we are expecting the court judge to come sometime in March, so it's kind of iOS 17.4. There is already a very positive outlook on this. The reason I'm mentioning Steam here is because Steam has had a very interesting history of working with certain products. This is mostly for EVA. So Steam, what is Steam? Steam is the largest distributor or storefront for online games, or not just online games, any games. And it's not just games, it's also different kind of apps. It's got like 60 million DAU audience. The thing with Steam is it's very open to adult content. In fact, some of the every week, I would say, you will see adult games being sold on the front page, and the sales go about, I guess, like 50 to 100 sales within that week. So it's insane in terms of volume. Well, the price is very small. This kind of proves the attitude, like openness of the platform for adult content. That is one thing. The second thing is it's very large. The third one is it has in January changed its standing in regards to AI in the apps. So now they kind of are allowing developers to put any kind of AI in their apps. Before they didn't. And the first reason is there is a history of mobile developers putting their products in Steam. So this is very popular among, I guess, kind of gacha games. But still, it's there are a lot of precedents of big titles, I guess, like you could call Raid, Shadow Legends. There's like Summoner Wars, which are all pretty successful in pretty successful apps coming to Steam as a platform. So my point here is to maybe consider it for EVA as a potential avenue of a new revenue stream. I think this is it for me. Hopefully I overstepped my time, but that's it. I'll take questions now.